after spending the morning exploring and swimming in Hamersley Gorge, I got back on the road to get to the camping spot in Karijini National Park. A water truck was coming towards me with its water on. I mean, I could probably do with a shower after travelling on these dusty roads, but I might skip this one. Luckily, the truck driver turned the water off, so I could pass without getting wet. Back through the roadworks. To my left, I could see that amazing ridge I spotted on the way to Hamersley Gorge. So, I took a side track to find somewhere I could get a better look. I couldn't find a name for the ridge. I liked the thought that it's nameless, just another formation in this vast landscape. It's probably been here for hundreds of thousands of years and will be here for hundreds of thousands more. I'm guessing it's probably part of the Hamersley Range. I'm not sure you can get different degradation on each side of a dirt road, but it seems so much rougher heading back. So I pulled over and let some air out of the tyres to try and reduce the constant battering. While I was off the bike, I checked the gear to see if it had loosened up, but all was good, even on this rough road. So I got on and continued along the dirt road, hoping it would be a little smoother with the tyre pressure down. It had been so rough, even my mirrors had been rattled out of place. I made the turn off into the national park. You know you're about to hit a dirt road when you see the other lane going in the other direction turn the colour of the red dirt. Well, this is the campground. It is as hard as rock. Gonna be fun putting the tent up, but there's no real weather, so a few rocks and we'll solve that problem. I was told there was some amazing gorges and pools about 40 k's away on a dirt track, so that's probably an hour. And there's some really nice ones just here. So, do I race over there now and do those and then come back to these in this afternoon or evening and then the morning? Or just do these and don't worry about them. Decisions. I'll set up camp first, I think. Find some big rocks. Should see my pants. There's a lot of red bull dust all over them. The joys of riding in the dirt. The back of the bike's got a bit of it. That stuff's going to be everywhere for weeks. Even my hat. Oh well. She's warm too. It's probably 28, 30. I mean warm for winter. It's not warm. It was back out with a solar panel and battery again to charge up. I've had to go for a wander. I can't find any big rocks. Oh, and by the way, dingoes are an issue here. They said if you leave anything that smells like food, they'll take it. You leave out boots, especially nice leather ones, they'll take one, you'll never see it again. So, as always, my boots go in the tent because of that reason. And yeah, no food outside the tent. There were a few quite large termite mounds near the campsite. This one's probably twice as tall as me. So 11 and 12 foot range. So I did find some rocks for the tent. Yeah, probably won't help if there's a breath of wind. With the camp set up, I walked over to check out the gorge. Now this is what you call a gorge. This is Dales Gorge in the Karijini National Park, which is in Australia's Pilbara region. So I thought I might as well do the short walk around the rim. Well, go around the rim on the top. You just send 250 stairs or something like that through the bottom of the gorge and back to the pool. And if I'm hot and sweaty enough, I might get in. But apparently it's like ice. I'm not a fan of cold water. Oh. How bizarre is that? Slab of rock cracked into just about perfect squares, like tiles. Wild. I must have missed a turn. It's a stunning view though. Back on track, I think. Lots and lots of steps. And all unique, your own shape and size. They just gave up there and put some stairs in. Made it to the bottom. Another reason I went this way, besides if I'm hot I'll more likely get a swim in at the other end, is water runs downhill. So those stairs should be higher or longer than the ones at the other end. That's my theory. Sound to me, hopefully it's true. So further back there is actually closed. The reason is they had some boulders fall off the top. And by the size of the boulders around here, I'd want it closed too, especially when they're this big. Yeah. The temperature change is drastic, it's quite cool down here. There are forested pockets of fig trees, eucalyptus and snappy gums. You can see bands of iron formation in the rocks. And I keep dry feet. Dry feet still. I wonder if I'm going to have to get my feet wet eventually. Breathe in. I'm going to have to take shoes off. Can you describe the colour of that water? Wow, I haven't seen water that colour. It's like a blue-green, like deep. I don't know how to get across. I'd reached Fortescue Falls. It is the only spring-fed waterfall in Karijini National Park. Seeing there's no one here, I'm going to get in. 2 swims in one day. Well, that was definitely refreshing after the hike. Some back to camp. I made it back to camp right on sunset. Well, another epic day. I was only expecting an hour ride, but went down the dirt track and got 2 swims in. Pretty shattered now, so it's going to be an early one. I'm not sure tomorrow if I'm going to make a decent ride or a very long ride. I'll see how I feel. I was up before the first rays of light. With the potential of a big riding day, I decided to go with it and get on the road as soon as possible. As it was still dark, I took it slow, keeping my eyes peeled and enjoying the progression of the sun casting its light across the landscape as it rose. I made my way down through a stunning canyon. I pulled into the only fuel station along this 400-kilometre stretch. I fueled up. Well, I went to fuel up, but no result. I went inside and, well, maybe I should have read the massive writing on the fuel pump. They need to hold your driver's licence before they'll let the pumps work. Well, I've made a decent start this morning, getting some mileage done. Just had a egg and bacon sandwich, it was good, toasted. How was coming down that valley, it was pretty cool. It has been really cold on my hands, but it should warm up now that the sun's out, and yeah, I'm not sure where I'm going to get to. Just going to keep going, but I've made a good start. Work that out on the way. Another absolutely massive truck coming in. They're like caterpillars. You wouldn't want to have to try and overtake one. I may have to, but yeah, you want a good clear run at it. Alright, back on the road. It seems I've come across those missing tyres from those mining trucks I saw in the south. There is 2 ways they get the raw materials out of this region. One is by train, the other is by road train. These trucks are consistently passing every couple of minutes on their return journey, so they're empty. So that means I soon will probably come across a fully loaded truck in my lane. Well, this is the first one I've come across. Now, judging a pass on a 60-metre long vehicle is a little tricky. Luckily, there are a lot of straight sections of road out here. You have to be able to see way into the distance. And even then, it's hard to pick up a normal-sized car approaching. To help when passing, there is something to look out for. And there it is. Kindly, most of the truck drivers will give you a signal when it's clear to pass, as they are nearly 100 metres up the road and at a higher vantage point, so they can see way into the distance. But just make sure there's not a right-hand turn coming up ahead. The iron ore is mostly coming from the Maradu mine, which is located within a unique parcel of land situated in the middle of Karijini National Park. The mine contains 80% of all identified iron ore reserves in Australia and is one of the world's major iron ore providers. Someone out for their morning run out here? That's keen. After the corrugated dirt roads from yesterday and now going faster on the highway today, the rear vision mirror that had come loose was now swinging back. So for now I changed the angle of the mirror so there was less wind resistance to stop it from swinging back until I stopped and could get tools out and tighten it up properly. Well, there's a sensible place to put an overtaking lane by the Western Australian Department of Roads, right after a truck stop, as it makes everybody's life a lot easier. I love seeing a no-brainer solution in action. Another wide load approaching. Okay, I wasn't expecting it to be a boat out here. The vegetation was getting a tinge greener, so it seemed I was close to the coast. I made the turn onto the National Highway again, Highway 1. It's amazing how long these trains are. I mean, I can't even see the end of it. This was the town of Port Hedland. It is the major port for the mining operations up here. I was just going to skim the edge as I continued north, but first I needed to fill up.
Another week, another day, another hour since you went away, and so cliche you didn't say goodbye. I've been waiting for so long, still debating what went wrong.